How do you feel like people who confuse spirituality with like a mental illness?
It's two different things.
It is.
Go ahead.
People need to learn the difference.
If you've seen somebody like crazy, like mental, like asylum crazy,
you'll
know the difference.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Nah, she took me out when she said asylum crazy.
I've seen
but
firsthand, like
some people can't understand the difference between a mental breakdown and a spiritual awakening. Like I was telling you before, there are certain signs of a mental illness that they confuse with a spiritual awakening, like synchronicities, for example. And this is a fact. You guys can look it up. It's a sign of you going through mania. But however, if you're not diagnosed, don't diagnose yourself.
Right.
But it is a symptom of mania.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? Welcome to Mind Over Matter,
baby.
Period. As you can see, this is a big episode, okay? This is about to go viral, okay? Because I got GIANNA and YVANA in the building, all right?
Period.
I got both of them in the building. I told you how hard it was to get these girls here. Y'all don't know how much hard work I had to...
Patience.
We busy. These girls are busy.
It wasn't
like,
even me.
Busy. Like, bro, but I finally got them here. That's all that matters on the podcast. So I'm gonna make them shout their thing out and let the people know. Let the people know.
Well, I'm GIANNA, and this is YVANA, bestie. Bestie YVANA.
Yes, and we're both from DearAmerica, and we also have a podcast. You can check it out every Saturday. We put up an episode, different topic, every Saturday.
And follow our Instagram at DearAmericaK.
And our personal IGs mine is lavish.ya and GIANNA's.
Mine is Gia.C21.
Yeah.
It's a new account.
Yeah. So you can listen to Mind Over Matter, not Mind Over Matter, DearAmerica, the podcast on all listening platforms.
Yes.
So go stay tuned for that. Go catch up on the episodes. Get to know the ladies.
Go tune in.
Yeah. So we about to get right into this. This is episode 20. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to get y'all right. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it's 28. When you hear the word spirituality, what do you think? Like, what's the first thing you think?
You want to go first?
Wow. This is such a broad question, Deja.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Well, I think of it like, because I grew up in a Christian household, I think of spirituality as like a lot of just like voodoo, a lot of like the taboo of it, like a lot of just witchcraft, elixirs, and people standing around fires, singing songs that I don't like, summoning demons. It's very demonic what like I've been introduced to spirituality as. But as I grew older now, it's like spirituality is so different to me now. Now it's more peaceful. It's more like calming. Open.
Free will. Free thought.
Exactly.
I feel the same way too, because my parents were like, I'm Haitian, so automatically spirituality has like a bad like attachment to it. And a lot of people always think that spirituality is just like sacrificing or like summoning demons or playing with ghosts and things of the sort. But like the more I grow up, and especially this past year, I've been like more of a free thinker and an open thinker, especially because of spirituality. And spirituality has different like spectrums. It's not only just open practices, but it's also closed practices. But you guys could check that out, yourselves and do the research.
Do you think there's a difference between spirituality and religion? Do you think people have to choose one? Because a lot of people feel like they have to choose.
I don't think so.
You don't.
There's a lot of people who are Christian but also practice spirituality.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Myself, like, I still practice Christianity. Like, I use their, like, overall topics. Mm-hmm. And then I incorporate spiritual, like, practices, like burning, like, incense or sage and using crystals as, like, tools, of course, like, same way how we do at the church, as, like, the burning of smoke and things of the sort.
So what, you actually use crystals and, like...
Yeah, I have one in my room.
Yeah, I see, like, but you actually, like, use them and
I like, charge them.
So what do you feel like, what would you say to people, like, that's not going to work, like,
it's up to you what you believe.
Everyone has their own belief.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to, listen, like, people say that Jesus on the cross is helping them and guiding them, like, like, that's a symbol, like, or, what's something that they use as, like, a tool? Like, prayer. Bible, prayer, or, like, Bible scriptures, stuff like that. They use that, like, I don't sit here and tell you that your Bible scriptures don't mean nothing. That would be, like, hypocritical of me. And then not only that, like, it's kind of just, like, I'm bringing your whole belief down. Like, that's messed up.
So around, like, would you say both of you guys are spiritual people?
Yeah, everyone is spiritual.
I would say I'm spiritual.
But not a lot of people recognize that and classify themselves as being spiritual.
You're right. And that's kind of like the problem with, I wouldn't say religion, but I would say with people who are die-hard religious. Like, they think that half of the things that happen in the Bible is like, how do I explain this without sounding crazy?
I don't know. I think that they think that their way of thinking is the only way.
And it's, like, very, like, closed-minded. Like, like, spirituality is, you got to understand, although we're physical beings, we still have a soul. Like, you see how, like, in Christianity, they say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Spirit is in every type of religion. So there is an attachment of spirituality in every religion, no matter what you think, Yeah,
a lot of religious people fail to see how spiritual their readings really are. Like, a lot of people compare Jesus and Jesus' word in the Bible to astronomy. That's like true. The stars. Like, he was actually reading stars. He was actually... His... and if you can interpret it to equate to, like, astronomy and, like, seasons and stuff like that, if you really dissect the Bible.
Right.
But people don't only see it at surface level, reading the words and taking it literally. Like, it's so open for interpretation, and they're so closed-minded because they listen too much to the preacher.
Right.
Who's telling them, do this, do that. You can't be this, you can't be that.
Right.
Yeah, and they don't think for themselves.
And you know what's the problem with that? It's like, you can have anybody as a pastor, you can have anybody as a preacher reading the, the verse, and then they just make up their own type of interpretation. Yeah, and most of the time, they're very biased. Yeah, and it could come off as hatred toward a select group of people. And imagine, like, you coming into a public church and they're talking about people who are, are part of the LGBTQ community, for example, right? You would feel offended. Like, I don't want to be a part of this.
And they emphasize that. And they don't emphasize, like, oh, if you're a rapist, don't come here. Or if you're this, don't come here.
They never bring that up.
It's like they always focus on that one sin. Yeah. Rather than the others.
Right. They just, I feel like, I also agree with you guys. But I also think that, like, it's just the overall aspect of it all. Like, imagine just walking into a church and you're a part of that community that they're targeting, you would feel like a type of way. And people say that, like, like, some people say, like, they're like, why do you guys have to even, like, do that? Like, I feel like Christians should not, especially Christianity, there's so many parts in the Bible that talk about just loving your neighbor. There's literally a line, love thy neighbor. Like, why y'all coming at people from different groups or even Muslims.
Yeah. I think it's really the people that started making the rules, and that's really what it was.
The higher ups, the popes,
misinterpret religion and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they see everything as demonic.
Everything that's not a part of their religion.
Yeah, their religion as demonic. And it's crazy because they don't realize that they're targeting other religions too.
At the same time.
Because I know a lot of spiritual practices come from Hinduism. So you as a Christian saying, oh, this is demonic, you need to understand that you're attacking Hindus.
You know what's funny? You know what's really funny? The most recent practice, like of religion practice, is Christianity. And it's funny because a lot of people who are Christians like to say that Christianity is like the original like religion, and it's not. Because even before, even before Christianity, there was Judaism. Before Judaism, there was Hinduism, Buddhism. Different like basic practices, or even like looking at your environment. Because there's a lot of African, not religions, but spirituality practices that actually worship, you know, things around us, like the trees, the air, the
and
fire.
They believe everything has a spirit.
The First Testament, the Old Testament, is actually the same thing as the what's the book?
The Bible of Judaism. Right?
Yes, exactly. It's the same.
I think it's
thing.
the Quran.
The only thing I think it's the Quran. Yeah. The only thing they do is don't have Jesus. When Jesus comes in, that's when Christianity really
kicks in.
Yes. Yeah. But it's the same thing they're preaching. But yeah. When did you start like your spiritual journey? Like you realize that we are spiritual beings and that like.
Well, me personally, it's been going on for years. Like years, since I want to say maybe sometime in high school. And it wasn't until 2020 that's when it really hit me like, nah, I want to dive deep into it. I should be more serious with it. And then that's when I started using meditation as a tool to help me dive deeper.
Yeah, I use meditation too.
Yeah, me too. I wouldn't say like, I think like I've always been religious and spiritual, mainly because of my household and the people that raised me. But I would say like from a young age, I've been very like into things that were outside of just being humans. Like I've always been into like the occult, you would say. Like I'm into like ghosts and things of that sort. Like I always like scary movies. I always like to, and I would do like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was one time when I was younger, because I was one of those kids that I just do whatever. Literally, I would sit in front of a fire and I would just like try to call on something. Yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, I'm really one of those. I did that one.
For fun?
Nah. But I did that. No. I'm not even gonna lie. That I did once, and I never knew what it was all about. Like I was just interested to try it, and But I think when I really started to practice like correctly spirituality, I would say like high school, like senior year, I bought my first crystal. I bought an amethyst. That was the first thing that called to me too. And like ever since then, I've just been kind of figuring out what am I and what is life and what's the meaning of life and things of the sort.
I feel like recently a lot of people have been using the word spirituality very vaguely. I feel like they like showing off with it, trying to make it seem as if they are this higher person and they know themselves. Oh my God,
like a god.
A lot of people have a really big ego. Yeah. And it's really annoying because I feel like everyone's spiritual journey is different. You can't tell somebody what to do and what not to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they don't talk about the deep, dirty shadow work.
Yes.
The doubts.
People like to... I'm so sorry, continue.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, people like to make it seem like spirituality is... Like, even I'm not even going to lie, at one point, I used to do that too. I used to think that way. Like, I thought spirituality was going to be this amazing little... Kumbaya. Yeah, my Lord. Like, some beautiful, whimsical land. And then I realized, like, when I really started doing my shadow work, like, damn, I got problems, and the people around me got problems, and like this is not no easy nonsense. Like finding myself crying, journaling, like getting into the core and source of my trauma and
inner work.
Just a lot. And it's not beautiful and it's not wonderful, but it's a lot lifts off your shoulders when you're like kind of going through your shadow work. You realize who you are and you start to come to peace with who you are.
Yeah, I feel like when you first really start, you break down a lot. Like, you have to break down what you've been thinking, everything. Like, why you do this a certain way, and then you realize this is why, and it's hard to accept it. Even
people who you attract, too.
Oh.
Because,
yes, most definitely.
No lie, I remember I found myself, in the beginning of 2021, I found myself attracting a lot of men who were insecure, unsure of themselves. And I realized, why is this happening to me? And then I realized, it's me. Like, I have my Finsta, so I use that as like a little diary sometimes. And like, I wrote that one day and I was like, like, maybe I'm the problem. Like, let me really start being sure of myself. Let me really put confidence in who I am in my craft and everything. And ever since then, I've been attracting men that are successful, driven, have things going for themselves.
Period.
Yeah. And like, I'm just like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, I just had to work on myself a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that also. The energy you put out there will always come back to you. It always comes back.
In a threshold, like.
But some people always think of the place of needing. They need this, they need that, they need this. But then it's like, what do you have already?
Exactly. Like
yeah.
Nah, for real. Like, sometimes whatever you get in life is what you give out. Exactly. So, like, if you're a negative person, you're always complaining about you not getting this and you're not getting that. Figure out what you have and use that and be grateful for it. And then, start to build your character. Because at the end of the day, your life is going to be a constant cycle over and over and over and over until you actually face yourself and realize, like, oh, it's just me. Like, I have to fix myself. Mm-hmm. And it takes a while. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take months, years, days sometimes. But it's a little goes a long way.
It's definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So, have you guys ever had, like, a spiritual awakening, a coming to all, like, this, that really changed you, like, changed how you think, how you view the world?
I mean, yeah, definitely.
But a lot of people, like, associate that. I don't know if you ever heard, like, some people have
mental
negative
breakdowns.
Like, they have negative stigmas that's attached with spiritual awakening. And, like, some people are looked at as mad or, like, not normal. Like, if you see somebody, like, sun gazing in public or meditating in public, a lot of us are like, they're weird. Like,
yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've been through, like, a spiritual awakening because I noticed that I was always angry all the time at one point, like, last year. And I had a dream because a lot of my, awakenings or like realizations or revelations, they happen during meditation or like just my eyes closed or in sleep. And I had a dream like of me being like, of me literally sun gazing and the sky was like a different color. It was like orange, yellowish, and like there was a bunch of like, I guess I could say they were gods and goddesses and they were watching over me. And I felt very protected, like very like love type. And it was just like, ever since then, I actually started, ever since that night, I was starting to work on myself even more because I knew that there were people above me protecting me. So all the people that left my side, they were supposed to leave. Like, they weren't supposed to be a part of my life. And that was the whole point of the dream. I think I was running away from a lot of, I was running away from weed. I was running away from someone we know, but we're going to talk about that later. I was running away from a bunch of people, like, and I was running away from a lot of my problems. And when I laid down, I looked up, that's when I was actually at peace in the dream. So I think, like, a lot of things, a lot of signs, a lot of the things that come to you, they're very vague, and like you have to break them down in your own perspective. So
yeah, that's a fact.
But sun gazing is cool, I guess.
Yeah, it is cool. But you ever see somebody that's like, I don't know, because you guys are so open-minded, but I've seen my parents, like, or like older people judge people who are just like very like spiritual.
Yeah, like hippie.
Yeah, like I don't know if you know, like in the Rastafarian culture, they're very, very spiritual. And then like you have people like that are more religious, and they like to judge them and be like, oh, you know, they all on there like they're kind of crazy in a way, like they're in their crazy little like world, mad. Like what they're doing is like kind of unrealistic, and they've been programmed to think like people who like I've seen somebody like walking barefoot in the park, and I'm just like, damn, they look relaxed as fuck. Like they're grounded. My parents are gonna judge them and be like, yo, my madman, like he's crazy. Like,
nah, I think it's because over time, the thing is, the society that we live in now is not how we started in the beginning of life. Because when the first man came, this entire place was all green, it's grass. So now it's like we live in a society where we have to wear shoes. We have to wear clothes. First man was not wearing no Playboy shirt, you know, biker shorts, like no Jordan, none of that. Like they were butt naked, like
butt ass naked, like, berries from a tree.
Yeah, so it's like being grounded. What I mean by grounded too is like when your feet is like on the bare floor, like on grass, on concrete, whatever. And sun gazing is like when you're laying out in the sun, like exposing yourself to the sun. Basically those acts, those types of like movements, those types of things that they do is just to connect better with the earth. Since we are humans, we live here, this is our environment, this is our home. You know, connecting more with your home connects you to a higher level than what you are presented on this physical realm. So like it connects you to other realms and, you know, other dimensions, I guess.
I feel like we've been programmed a lot to think like those ways of thinking, like somebody like sun gazing or somebody like walking barefoot, like practicing grounding. We don't look at it as like it could be a source of healing in a way. Like that can be therapeutic. We've been so programmed to think like, oh,
that's odd.
Weird.
Like
what?
Yeah.
Like, they smoke their pot. They're hippie or
they're
whatever.
crackheads. Like they don't know what they're doing.
How do you feel like people who confuse spirituality with like a mental illness?
It's two different things.
It is.
Go ahead.
People need to learn the difference.
If you've seen somebody like crazy, like mental, like asylum crazy, you'll know the difference.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Nah, she took me out when she said asylum crazy.
I've seen
but
firsthand, like
some people can't understand the difference between a mental breakdown and a spiritual awakening. Like I was telling you before, there are certain signs of a mental illness that they confuse with a spiritual awakening, like synchronicities, for example. And this is a fact. You guys can look it up. It's a sign of you going through mania. But however, if you're not diagnosed, don't diagnose yourself.
Right.
But it is a symptom of mania.
I would say like a big difference between a spiritual awakening and a mental illness, like having a mental breakdown, is mental breakdowns kind of look really messy. When you're having a mental breakdown, you lose your stuff very easily. It's a big one actually. You start to just curse out random people. You say whatever to them. It could be vile. It could be erotic. It could be disrespectful. 3, mental like breakdown would be like just, you know, crying, like exaggerately, like, and then just being fine the next minute. And then it could
look different though. It could be
it could be hyperventilating, like can't breathe,
paranoid,
like tightness in chest, like I need help, like you know. And then also a fourth one would definitely be like a messy room, like overly messy, like clutter, like food, half-eaten food, people not eating, not refusing to eat, but like eating and then saving it for later and then not finishing it ever. Things undone, things just like all over, like scattered. If you have never seen that before, then like I don't recommend you to see it, but like you'll know what I mean. I've seen this like firsthand, and it's not even like I can't even laugh about this. Like it's crazy. Like seeing somebody go through a mental breakdown is like really upsetting. It's really sad too. But a spiritual awakening more so looks like not like anything positive, of course not, but it would be crying and kind of wanting to talk about it, also being vocal about it too, and knowing the reason why you're crying. Also, like a spiritual awakening could be like definitely proactively fixing your problems as well. Also trying to figure out reasonings, you know, and asking questions and actually being vocal too. Also, spiritual awakenings people who have spiritual awakenings don't have messy rooms, but they could be in their head a lot and it could be a little cluttered, I would say. And yeah, you know, I wouldn't say spiritual awakening is like a mental breakdown.
No, but some people confuse it with the both. Yeah, because even when you were explaining it, it's still very similar. Like
very similar.
It's a lot of like erratic behavior that you're not used to.
That's true.
So it can be confused, and it oftentimes is.
Yeah,
a lot of the times it is. But even like with some celebrities, like I believe Erykah Badu came out about it. Like she went through a spiritual awakening, and they called her crazy, and she went to psych ward. Like really? People like that, and then the public is gonna view you as a manic, like right. Don't always judge a book by its cover
for real.
And even with the like synchronicity, I don't know. I feel like synchronicity to me, like I see it all the time, and I feel like it's not really mania. I feel like it's just. This is in my belief.
It depends.
It's like a guidance. Like you're on the right path. Yeah. That's how I look at it.
It depends. If you're diagnosed with a mental disorder, then you know you're going through mania.
Yeah. When you like think everything is like too perfect. Okay.
I will also say like when you see angel numbers or numbers like that frequently, try to see how you feel when you see them. That's also a big thing.
That's
like,
a sign. How you feel during that moment is a sign.
Yeah, because if you are seeing 111 or 777 and you're like, oh my God, the numbers again. No. Like, you're obviously not getting angel numbers. Seek help. But like,
if you feel scared after seeing angel numbers,
seek help. But if you're seeing it and you're like, oh, thank God, like, you know, I was really hoping you checked in on me. Yeah. Then and you know what it means and everything of the sort. Then you're, you know what's going on. You're in tune. Like,
I don't know if you guys dabbled into like the YouTube spiritual world.
Oh my God!
But it's a lot of niggas that be sorry. I'm gonna put that out. It's a lot of people that are on spiritual platforms, and they're like kind of pushing like weird narratives. Like it's kind of very like it's on TikTok too.
It's on TikTok a lot.
Like it's like they sprinkle the truth with some bullshit, and then it makes your spirituality look bad. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Give me an example.
Like for example, like
go ahead.
Okay, I need to record over here. What's a good example?
like what you said with the mental breakdowns. They were on TikTok talking about how they're not eating, and they were connecting it to their spirituality. And I'm like,
some people like to fast. I don't know what's that about.
Oh,
all right. Here's the thing.
No, I get it.
Here's the thing. Fasting is okay. I mean, like, they were saying things like, "I don't feel like eating."
Because my guides told me.
And it's like they were connecting it to the spiritual world. I'm not sure if you've seen these videos.
It would be like excessively pushing this stuff.
It's like, you need to eat.
Yeah.
That's not a spiritual awakening, sis. You have an eating disorder.
Yeah.
You need to eat.
You need to eat. I honestly, I would say, like, if you want to eat and you want to get closer to, like, spirituality, I would say, like, go, like, vegan.
Yeah,
or even like alkaline vegan, but like,
or just eat healthy.
Yeah, just eat healthier. Like,
a good example I see on TikTok of like people like doing like these irrational versions of like spirituality is when they're like talking about like they'll be like, oh, Joe Biden is a reptilian, or like
the reptile.
Or they'll be like, oh my God, did you see right there in his eye? He moved it.
I heard that
Illuminati, like, shut the
I heard that theory is actually harmful to it was some religion. I think the Jewish religion.
Really?
You have to look into it. I didn't look into it yet, but I looked into it a little bit, and they were saying how it's harmful towards them. So I kind of like steer away from people who believe in that.
And people believe in that in their soul that our president is a reptilian.
Okay. How? I don't think he's a reptilian. I think he's really like, okay, I'm not even going to talk about what he's like. But, I was going to say, like, I think I don't know if he has dementia for real, but he actually needs to like sit out. He's mad old. Like, he's been in this game for a minute. Like, since
he retired.
He's been in this game for a minute, like Reagan era type, like Clinton, like, yo, like,
he's so old his kids left before him. Like, he's still here.
DEJA.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that's how old you are, bro. Your kid had a whole life left and you still there. Yo.
That's true.
Right,
I feel you, bro. He's old, like, he's old, like, he has to. He got to saying sometimes. Yeah. Like, oh, I did. Yeah.
He's retarded.
Sis.
That whole reptilian business that's been going on since like 2014.
It's been going on.
They've been saying that even about Obama be eating kids. Obama, a reptile.
They say about everybody.
Yeah.
They be like,
but that's true.
That's a different topic.
That's different.
It's a different topic.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
The truth with some bullshit, and then it makes spirituality look like, yo, these people are crazy. But
they're
even
nuts.
with like, damn, I had a great example. What the fuck? All right, y'all keep talking. I can't think of what I was about to say.
Okay, so we could continue talking about how TikTok just spreads a lot of
because TikTok be lying. I'm not even gonna cap to y'all.
And then like they would post how to do spells from these closed practices. I'm like, girl, the ancestors gonna get you.
Stop doing that.
Stop playing with them spells.
Exactly. And no lie, most of these people that's doing this, not to be prejudiced,
they're not even a part of the community.
They're white. Like, let me tell you, baby. Listen. White people don't have ancestors that can help them. Okay? Black people do. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because black people, first of all, the first man was black, first off. Second of all, the first race to really become like spiritual or have that spiritual practice were black people. Mm-hmm. So, Haitian voodoo, like things of the sort. I have ancestors that will back me up. Yeah. That would be like, yo, you good? But, like, everybody has ancestors, yes. But, like, white people have, like, ancestors that slave people.
Their ancestors are on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. They
doing some wacky, just some weird stuff. Like, just think about, like, the American slave culture and what they did to us. It's just like, whoa, your ancestors are mad selfish. They're not gonna be worried about you, babe. They used to eat each other at one point.
Yeah.
They were cannibals.
So they will definitely eat you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a fact. Look it up.
Nah, I'm serious. They used to do that, like, cause where they're from, like up north, like North Pole, South Pole,
Yeah,
like
up there.
yeah, up there. They actually was like, you know what? It's too damn cold to go hunt a bear, so let me go eat my brother Jim.
Exactly how it happened.
Num 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 num. Delicioso. Yeah. But y'all speaking facts. Like they really sat here. They really like y'all. I'm not gonna lie. TikTok really be capping about half of the stuff.
I've seen somebody say Polo G is Speaker Knox. He said if Speaker Knox didn't die, it's Polo G. I'm like,
yeah, they be doing too much. Let Speaker Knockers rest in peace. Why are
Rest in peace is still alive
out there? Like,
bro, he's done for. I think it's like it's not even like spiritual TikTok doing this. This is like conspiracy TikTok, and then they try to like mix it. It's always like the same creator, so they always try to mix it and kind of mix the topics together. Because I personally would never believe that, even if I'm spiritual, Christian, a Jew, like. I'm not gonna believe that Tupac is still alive. And half of America is gullible because we don't even know what's going on half of the time.
Especially with the tarot card reading part of TikTok.
Yeah,
sis, that man is not coming back. Don't believe them tarot cards
at all. Please do yourself a favor, get an actual reading from somebody.
Yeah, get an actual reading if you really
pay
want
that
to
money.
And people need to realize that just because the tarot card reading says they feel that way doesn't mean they're going to act on their feelings. I'm sorry, but they're not coming back.
I'm not even going to lie to you. Also, some people who do tarot readings, I can't fully trust.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of energy that goes into it, and most of the time, your readings are not fully done. Like, just get it. Like, sometimes they'll do, you know what tarot readings are? So, like, some people will put down 3 cards, and then, like, the reader would just leave it like that. And they'll give them, like, some, like, a gist. Or not even, a gist of, like, what's going on. But, like, I'm a type of person, if I'm getting a reading from somebody, I want them to pull out 5 cards.
Yeah. It's
like,
more in-depth.
Pull that 2 other cards out. Give me the number. Give me everything. You can
zodiac signs. All of that.
Everything.
I need it all.
Exactly, because I'm not going to just be fine with like 3 cards and just make a synopsis out of it. That's not good enough for me. I need like in-depth info.
So do you believe in like psychics or like prophets?
Sis, my dreams be telling me everything.
I'm not going to lie. I'm very psychic.
Nah,
I'm no.
I know.
Listen,
No, like,
I believe
you want to know something?
Because she said she's psychic and you say you said I'm like,
two psychics.
I have a lot of stories. I mean, if your audience wants to hear my stories,
I got some stories too.
Now I think we had this conversation.
We did. I have a
people.
lot of stories.
Tell the people.
So my most recent one, a couple
that
months
still happening.
Yeah,
mine just when I was a kid.
A couple months ago. I don't know. In my head, something is like, break up, break up, break up.
What does that mean?
And I kept seeing 555. Like 2 days later, I was single. Oh. Like in my head, like I don't know, the words break up just kept repeating and repeating and repeating. And it wasn't even like me like manifesting it or anything.
It just came to you.
Yeah, it just came to me. I'm like, well, I don't even want to break up with this boy. What?
Yeah.
And 2 days later,
boom.
Relationship done.
Done.
Wow. It even happened before I found out I was going to be an aunt. I kept having a dream about holding a baby girl. Yeah, it was cute. I felt really connected to the baby too. And then 2 days later, that's when my brother told me he's about to have a kid. I have a lot of stories too. A lot more.
It's like your intuition.
It's
like
very strong.
Yeah. It's a gut feeling type of thing.
My intuition used to be strong when I was younger. Like, I would dream a scenario that would happen, and the next day, that exact thing, word for word, like, verbatim, everything will happen. I'll be like... And then when you're trying to explain that to your parents at, like... I was in the first grade, they're like... Oh. But my dad understands it because
Yeah.
his side of the family is where it really comes from. Like he has
Very spiritual.
brothers that dream stuff and it happens.
Wow.
I dream of
But it
everything.
stopped.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's a blessing.
I be having
and a
that
curse.
too.
I don't.
You do?
I have
enjoy it.
like I was telling you earlier, like I have dreams, like I don't or visions. I don't really, and they don't be telling me nothing. They just be like, "Yo, let me just show you what the hell going on."
I get both.
Nah, but I had this like, I guess I don't know which. I should talk about the one where the girl and the guy. Yeah.
Should.
So I have a friend. We're gonna call her Grass. Me and Grass hung out one day, and like I felt really connected with her. Like she was mad cool, and we're both Haitian, so yeah. And then right, so
that's all I know.
my boule. So after that, like there was this guy I was talking to, and basically like I never knew he was like I thought he was pretty into me. We hung out one day, and then the next day he was saying that he got family problems. So I was like, yo, like, okay, whatever you say, bro, you know, do what you gotta do. Do it like it's your B-day. And so he
All right.
yo so basically, right? He kept telling me like he had mad family problems. He can't talk to me. He did not want to speak to me. He didn't want to talk to me, right? So one day I'm washing dishes. I don't know, sometimes I just be going on like auto mode, like with my body, and my mind goes on to another place. And all I remember seeing is like them together. Like I was looking out the window, and like I kind of like daydream them together, and she's like telling him like leave me alone. Mind you, she knew about this boy. Grass knew about this boy. And leave me alone. He was just trying to flirt with her OD, right? And I was like, after I snapped back into reality, I was like, oh, so he's trying to talk to her too, like, and I didn't get any evidence like in my face, like real time. So I decided to just do what I do best, be Future. So I was being Future, doing my own thing, and I think I had another like vision. I had another like I had a dream, and then I was talking about it in my private story. She was on my private story, and she was like, oh, was I in it? What was I wearing? I was like, no, you weren't in it. But I did have a vision about you last week. This was like a week later. And she like, oh, what happened? And I tell her the whole thing, and she's like, oh, you know why that happened like that? Because he tried to talk to me. And I was like, how come you didn't tell me? But, it's cool. Like, I felt very betrayed. Like, after I had that vision, I felt very betrayed, like, in that moment. Like, it didn't happen, but it felt like it was happening type beat. And, yeah.
Now, these visions be, like, a warning, like, honestly.
Yeah.
No lie.
I remember because, like, I work in a daycare I used to, like, with a lot of kids. And then it was a 7-year-old talking to this other kid. And she was like, I dreamed this last night exactly like this. Like,
Deja vu.
I was like, I know I'm not bugging because, like, kids speak the truth for the most part, except for the like, little badass kids that be lying to me.
Yeah, the bad ones.
Yeah, but most kids, for the most part, they know the truth. Like, that's what they speak. And when she said that, it just resonated with me. Like, yo, visions are powerful.
Yeah, they are.
And I feel like I don't have them as much because I'm less closer to my child self, which is sad. Yeah. It's just like, the traumas of a living just kicked in.
I don't know. I see it as a curse sometimes.
Really?
Well, yeah, like, why do you want to dream of someone dying and you know they're going to die?
Yeah.
You know how painful it is?
It is painful.
And the fact that, like, I know when my relationships are ending, it's like...
I mean, I like
weird.
it. I like it. I'm going to tell you why I like it. Because it warns me. It makes me move accordingly. Like, I don't like betrayal, like, at all. Like, do not betray betray me. Like, I'm loyal like a dog. So when I see things like that, like in visions or dreams or whatever, I take it, and I take it seriously. Sometimes I don't talk to the person like at all. Like I said earlier, I move future. Like, I do what I want to do. And then sometimes I confront the person if I really have love for them. Yo, like, you do this, you're doing this, X, Y, and Z. Sometimes they'll think I'm crazy, but, like, I take it seriously. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that also.
I would be, like, dreaming, like, lucid dreaming.
No.
Sometimes I will fall into it by accident.
Really? Nah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I will fall into it by accident.
I want to control my dreams like that.
It takes practice, though. I never really, like, got the hang of it because I never did it on purpose. I just fell into it by accident.
Nah,
I can't even dream.
I can't.
I can, but like it barely.
You gotta, you know what you gotta do? You gotta really detox, like, in order to have dreams constantly. Because last month in December, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, and I just stayed away from everybody. And, like, kind of like went into, you know, confignment. You know, isolating myself. Yeah, isolating myself completely. And I started having dreams every night. Really? Vivid dreams.
That's gonna be hard for me.
And it was good. It was amazing. But it depends on the person. Like, you have to put yourself in an environment where you blossom, and I blossom in isolation. Sounds lonely, but it makes me feel amazing.
Like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. A lot of people are scared to be alone because they're like, oh my God, I'm lonely.
Because they don't love themselves. That's the problem.
Yeah, they're not comfortable.
And that's a big part of spirituality. You have to love yourself. You have to figure out what, you have to figure out who, you see how, like, people are dating? You have to date yourself in order to really ascend to your highest power, or to know what your power is even. Because if you don't sit there and really take care of yourself, love yourself, you know, admire yourself, speak good, kind words to yourself, then you're never going to get there.
You got to worry about yourself. Drink your water. Stop worrying about other people. You have to mind your business.
Mind your business that pays you.
And I heard this today. I'll get to say it later. Mind your business as in mind your business. Your mind is your business. You're supposed to, like, feed your mind.
Don't let that go over your head.
Exactly.
Don't let that go over your head, for real.
A lot of people be worried about who doing this, who doing
right.
that. And our attention, especially because of, like, stories, Snapchat, Instagram stories, Facebook stories.
It's all in front of our faces.
We're worried about what the next person is doing. Worry about yourself.
Facts.
Like, that's really all that matters. Everybody is going to be worrying about, like, the world's still going to revolve at the end of the day.
Right. You're always going to see that person. You're always going to run into somebody. Don't worry. Like, life continues, but, like, your mental health, what you believe in, like, all those apply to your subconscious in all spectrums. Like, don't think because you told yourself you're ugly doesn't mean, like, it's not going to come back to you. It's definitely going to come back to you. You got to speak kind words to yourself. You got to treat yourself as if you're another person. Everything you feed yourself, words, food, everything, it matters. It really does. Yourself. Facts. People don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it.
If you get me, you get me. If you don't get us, if you don't get us, close out in your British accent.
All right, mate. So I'm YVANA.
I'm Gianna.
And this is Gianna. Beautiful, butterscotch-looking darling. And this is DEJA, this beautiful chocolate, amazing person who allowed us on her beautiful Mind Over Matter podcast this fine day. Thank you guys so much again for listening. Check out DearAmerica with me and Gianna every Saturday. What else did I forgot to say? Oh yes, my personal. Okay, follow us on IG at DearAmerica K. I said it right. Yeah. DearAmerica K. Okay, yes, and follow DEJA's IG at please do say DEJA and her podcast.
My podcast.
Her podcast. Yes.
All right, let me stop. I'm bad at this. What's my podcast, Mind Over Matter.
Mind Over Matter, baby.
Mind Over Matter,
I was talking about the IG.
That is Mind Over Matter, baby. For 3 Ys.
3 Ys at the end there. And then did we cover no. And then our personal IGs at lavish.er and then Gianna's podcast. I mean I can't do it. IG at Gia.Clark 21. I'm terrible at this, guys. It caught me off guard. I'm sorry, mate.
Okay, you did good.
I tried. I really tried. Gianna, just take it away. I clock out.
I'm weak. All right, so make sure to follow us at DearAmerica K on Instagram and my personal Instagram page at Gia.C21 and Ivana's personal Instagram page at
lavish.er. You know that.
And make sure to subscribe and listen to Mind Over Matter, baby.
Period. It's Mind Over Matter, baby.